welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to support my daily Eternal Magic offerings while getting amazing perks like the BoshNRoll Discord community, have me play your deck on the channel, or listen sideboard guides before tournaments, check out the Patreon or YouTube membership program. This channel is possible because of these amazing sponsors. Check them out, all their links are in the video description. As always, thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic.
Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm doing a Vintage Cube draft, and as usual, my opening pack has no shot at a Power 9. That's okay. Options here, fetch lands, keep you open. Grief is powerful interaction in one of the better archetypes, which is Reanimator. Atali is one of the better things to flash, to show and tell, to reanimate. I think I'm going to take Underworld Breach, though. Breach is a highly desirable card. I think it is also one of the most powerful archetypes in the cube if you can get it. It's harder to get because you need a Black Lotus, Lotus Petal, and or Lion's Eye Diamond, and then something to do with it, like Brain Freeze. But the Breach itself, I think, is the most... Black Lotus is the most desirable of those cards, but you could catch Lion's Eye Diamond in the middle of a pack. Usually nobody wants Brain Freeze unless they're in the deck. I am going to move in here. Okay, this is interesting. There's Doomsday here as well. Doomsday is also a card, just like Underworld Breach, that wants Thassa's Oracle. And here's Jace Wielder, who is kind of Thassa's Oracle at home. I could just take my claim and try to do something fun with the combo here. Yeah, I'm going to take Doomsday and really hope this Jace comes back to me. Not a lot of people are interested in this, and I have the two things that set it up. Oh, Dark Ritual, let's go. Okay, Dark Ritual, Doomsday. We got a deck coming together. 2 fetch lands here, 2 black fetch lands. Sucks to see those go, but I will definitely not get Dark Ritual back, and it's probably pretty important to me here. The Night's Whisper that was in that pack could help me get through a Doomsday pile as well, just thinking about what I might catch on the wheel. Archon of Cruelty in this next pack gives me some options for a pivot, like if Entomb Reanimate comes together. Dark Ritual and Entomb Reanimate is also powerful. Displacer Kitten is an engine that sets up a bunch of combos itself, that those combos don't normally overlap with what these combos are trying to do. Gush could help me through a Doomsday pile, but that's a lot harder in Limited, where you don't get to play 4 Underground Seas in your deck like you do in Constructed. I would need to resolve Doomsday off of a mana base that, if I'm lucky, might have 1 Underground Sea in it. Undercity Sewers is here. That's just generic fixing and could help me get through Doomsday pile. I'm going to take Archon. Leave my options wide open. Well, here's 2 cards that are very important to me. Underground Sea and Thassa's Oracle, both in this pack. That means Oracle and Jace are both kicking around in pack 1. If I take this Underground Sea and I don't wield the Jace, the Doomsday is terrible. This pack is pretty good, though. Oh, Mana Tithe is in the cube. The other day I said I'm pretty sure Mana Tithe is not in the cube and just jammed into an open white. Good to know. I'm taking Underground Sea, but I'm really hoping that one or both, and I'll play with the Jace, but I really want that Oracle. Mind Twist is cool with Dark Ritual. What is this card? Sin Spear's Punishment. This is some Reanimator idiot. When this enters or attacks, exile a permanent card at random from your graveyard. Then create a tap token that's a copy of that card. If the card is exiled as a land, repeat this process. Alright, yeah, that's pretty cool. I think I'm in for Mind Twist, though. Fairy Mastermind would give the deck kind of a creature-y alternate plan, but Dark Ritual Mind Twist is a combo. Mana Fixing versus starting to get Reanimator stuff going. I don't have any spells I want to seek. It's just Mind Twist and Dark Ritual right now. Generally only one Spell Seeker if you have like Ancestral Recall or Time Walk in your deck. I think I'd rather have a good Doomsday deck than try to be a Reanimator deck too, if it's up to me. Cabal Ritual and Bolas's Citadel are my options here. I think I want Cabal Ritual. Alright, Jace, come back to me, buddy. I don't think it's this pack, I think it's the next one. This is 8 cards, so it's the pack after this one that's coming, if Jace is going to get back to me. Him to Turok or Itali. I do have this sort of black disruptive deck coming together, or this backdoor Reanimator thing, which if Itali went all the way around, that is high hopes that Reanimator is open. I think I want him, though. Just gonna stick to that. soften up the opponent, try to clear the way for one of these combos. I can even put Hymn to Turok in a Doomsday pile to soften up my opponent on the way through my pile. There we go. This card's pretty safe, especially with 5 cards left in the pack, that you're going to get it back if you want it. Nobody should want that, except the people who actually want it. Knight's Whisper, Trinket Mage. And Knight's Whisper is going to make the deck no matter what. Trinket Mage gets a lot better if I find the Lion's Eye Diamond or Black Lotus to go with this Breach. I think I'll stick to the black control thing. Displacer Kit and Metamorph and Undercity Sewers on the wheel. Holy smokes. Alright, well, I'm taking Undercity Sewer. Ironically, now my deck does have 2 Underground Seas in it. Could have supported that Gush. Alright, Thassa's Oracle, come back to me, buddy. Oh, yeah, okay. Well, the Doomsday deck is basically already fully formed, and if I can make Breach or Reanimator happen in the shell too, that would be awesome. Harvester and Death Rate. I think Harvester is better. Removal spell, you can also reanimate. And Descendant of Storm straight to the sideboard. Let's open a Black Lotus. Come on. Did not open a Black Lotus. There's a Hull Breacher, a Dothy Voidwalker. Those are really the 2 cards I'd consider here. Hull Breacher is a more powerful card than Dothy Voidwalker. This can shut down entire decks by itself. And if I find a Time Twister or Wheel of Fortune, whatever, that's another combo I might play. Misty Rainforest with 2 Underground Seas in my deck looks pretty good. Liliana the Veil is alright. Preordering and Brainstorm in my Doomsday pile are nice, but I think I want to smooth out this mana. Like I said, my deck is basically already fully formed. At least the core win con is, and now I need to support it. Duress and Mana Leak. Duress works better on the black side, especially if I'm being proactive. Like, being able to Duress an opponent the turn before I Doomsday is a cleaner line than trying to Doomsday with 5 mana up to protect it with Mana Leak. And if I have 5 mana, then they might also have 5 mana, then they can just pay 3 off their counterspell. I'm taking Duress. Sheldock Isle, that is another Doomsday thing, because once you Doomsday, there's less than 20 cards in your deck. That's just how that works. This was been played and constructed. And now if I draft like an Emrakul the Aeon's Torn, I can make a Doomsday pile of Sheldock, Emrakul, and then that can be my win con, and Thassa's Oracle can be hiding behind it. Yeah, that's a great pickup. I hope to wheel Concealing Curtains or Daze, probably. Sedgemoor Witch, Deep Cavern Bat. It's Deep Cavern Bat. That's just another Duress I can play. None of these other cards are in my wheelhouse at all here. People show and tell Sunken Ruins. Well, Sunken Ruins lets me Dark Ritual into Jace Wielder. That's actually huge. Wishclaw in a combo deck, always nice, but I think Sunken Ruins just goes right in the deck here. Jace Vryn's Prodigy. That can get me through a Doomsday pile faster, or just be another thing that I do when I'm not Doomsdaying. Baleful Strix, I'm actually quite good at casting. Pest Infestation, awesome card that is showing up pretty late here. I like Spell Pierce, but I think Jace is where I gotta be. Cryptic Command, oh, there's LED, let's go. Okay. Cryptic Command, my mana is actually good enough that I could probably play Cryptic Command in this base black deck. Ottawar is a card I would put in my deck. Lethal Scheme is a card I'd put in my deck, but Lion's Eye Diamond, we gotta lock it in if we see it. If we want this Underworld Breach to be a thing, you have to take the pieces when you see them. This is my opening pack again. Alright, Ulamog, I could put in the Sheldock Doomsday package, or I could just take Preacher. This gives them as a mid-range object that my deck can cast. Ulamog is not Emrakul, so I'm taking this one. Dark Ritualing this out on turn 1 is not embarrassing. Liliana on the wheel, school. I should probably read Sephiroth. Oh, there's Brainstorm here too. Okay. When this enters or attacks, you may sack a creature if you do draw a card. Whenever another creature dies, I don't really have creatures. All right, I'm off it. I think Brainstorm's better than Liliana for giving what my deck's trying to do. Grave Titan Duelist. I'm not playing Grave Titan for sure. I'm probably not playing Duelist either. I could take this Bayou. What green card would I splash? I do have Misty Rainforest. It's base black. I think I'll take Bayou just in case. I'm not playing that Duelist, so let's open up a splash color if we want it. I did catch Concealing Curtains on the wheel. Another Duress. That can also be a mid-range threat. Sedgemoor Witch, probably going to live in my sideboard, but oh wow, Baleful Strix last pick. Love it. Okay, we need Brain Freeze this pack, and I also need some source of red mana if we get Brain Freeze. This pack's got some good cards in it. Library of Alexandria, powerful. Blood Crypt does let me cast Breach off of a black land. Polluted Delta is just the fetch land for my deck. Xander's Lounge is all of it. Misty Rainforest can get Xander's Lounge, and that casts Underworld Breach. Do I think I'll wheel Xander's Lounge? That is the card I want out of this pack. If I take Polluted Delta, then Blood Crypt and Xander's Lounge are good wheels. I think I'm going to take Delta. But Xander's Lounge is the one I actually want, but I'm going to be a little greedy and try to wheel it. Delta in my deck. The Bone Zone. Bunch of awesome white cards that I'm not playing. Ledger Shredder is interesting and dangerous. It can help me get through a Doomsday pile, but Conniving is not optional. If I go empty for Thassa's Oracle and my opponent just like goes Brainstorm Lightning Bolt, I'd lose. I think I'm going in the Bone Zone here. Shieldred, that's a banger, all-time banger. In my colors. Witherbloom Apprentice. I have the Sedgemoor Witch, but not the Chain of Smog, so I have the wrong half of this combo. Yeah, it's Shieldred, and I don't think it's particularly close. An Imperial Seal is here, but I have enough non-combo things to do that I'm okay living without that. I love Aluris, even just as a creature. But Counterspell also in this pack. Grizzlebrand. I think the Reanimator Dream is dead. Alright, Counterspell's in. Brain Freeze. We did it. We did it, everybody. Okay. Now I have to support this Underworld Breach somehow. Oh, there's Chain of Smog. So that whole combo is wheeling. Oh, Frantic Search. This is another Breach enabler. Okay, I'm taking Frantic Search. Somebody can enjoy a late pack 3 Witherbloom Chain of Smog. Whoever moves in gets to get it. Honestly, if the Frantic Search wasn't in this pack, because I took that Bayou earlier, I probably would take Chain now. But Frantic Search, you're coming in. Alright, now I really want that Blood Crypt or Xander's Lounge to come back around. Animate Dead, wow. Late to the party. Still probably good. I'm not playing any of these other cards. I don't really need a Talisman. My deck curves out pretty well. I'll take Animate Dead. Force of Negation. I have enough blue to support this. Crabomination. I have no artifacts to emerge from, so I would just be casting that. Yeah, I'm going to take Force. And we got the Blood Crypt back. Sweet relief. Polluted Delta Blood Crypt. That is 2 red sources in my deck for the Breach. Unearth, probably in the sideboard. I'm not playing Witherbloom Apprentice. I have enough combos in my deck that even if I do wheel the Chain of Smog, I won't feel bad about that. I'm going to put Stern Scolding in my sideboard. I'm probably not playing Animate Dead. This deck looks sweet, though. I'm very excited. One piece each. Pack 1, Pack 2, Pack 3. Luris versus Nethergoyf. I'm not taking the Mortuary. I didn't actually end up with green cards. I got quite a few 1 and 2 drops here. I'll take Luris. Bitter Triumph, great removal spell. Thought Scour can help me get through. Like, that's a Breach card and a Doomsday card. But I have enough of those. I just like a removal spell at this point. Voice of Victory to the sideboard. And Lion Sash to the sideboard. Okay, no power, but lots of vintage level combos accessible to me here. Alright, I'm not reanimating this Harvester, and I ended up with a better removal spell. The Bayou's out, I'm not doing anything with that. In order to companion the Luris, I would have to cut Hull Breacher, Shieldred, and Jace. I might not play Jace anyway, because I did end up with Thassa's Oracle. But Shieldred and Hull Breacher are pretty premium, just game objects you could put into play in a vintage cube. Yeah, I wouldn't miss Preacher too much, but I would miss the other two a lot. I don't think companioning the Luris is what I want to do. Emperor of Bones kind of doesn't have a home here. Everything else disrupts my opponent or digs for my combo, or is a combo payoff. If I add lands right now, that would be 16 lands in this deck. I have Night's Whisper, Brainstorm, Jace, Frantic Search that can smooth out a draw. Am I playing a Mountain? I currently have 1 fetch land that gets my 1 Blood Crypt. My other fetch land doesn't get Blood Crypt, unfortunately, or else I wouldn't have to even think about mountains. And Lion's Eye Diamond, unfortunately. Lotus Petal and Black Lotus just make red up front. They do it for you, but you can't use red from LED to cast Breach. They closed that loop a long time ago. Breach, importantly, is a 2-mana permanent, which means if I lose a fight over Breach or do like an early value Breach, then Luris could still replay Breach later, and I could still combo out. I like that. Okay, I've put some basics in. I intentionally left one out because I want to see how bad a mountain would actually be for my deck. I have 13 spells that have colorless pips in them. Like, I got a lot of cards that just cost singular colors of mana, even up into 2 and 3 drops. That's still true. I do have Dark and Cabal Ritual, though. Like, Cabal Ritual can cast Doomsday off of a mountain. Dark Ritual can let me cast Doomsday even if mountain is in play, as long as I have one swamp. And I'm going to add the mountain, and I'm going to decide if I want a 17th land. I probably don't. I'm pretty low to the ground here. Yeah, I think this is what I'm doing. Obviously, I'd love a Mox Jet in this deck and Ancestral Recall, but I'm not going to be greedy. As far as unpowered decks go, this one looks very good. Let's do it. The BoshNRoll channel is brought to you by Tales of Adventure. TOAMagic.com has almost 100,000 unique cards in stock. They offer free track shipping on every order, plus next day or 2-day options when you have an event coming up fast. They offer on-site pickup at major Magic events throughout the US, so you're never scrambling before your tournament. Stop by their booth to buy, sell, or trade at upcoming regional championships, Magic Con, Spotlight Series, and more. I love their selection of individually scanned high-end cards that show you exactly what you're buying. And the best part is saving 5% on every order with promo code BOSH. From Ancestral Recall to Zombie Master, get what you need quickly and in one place at TOAMagic.com. Eternal lives here. I'm on the play in round 1 versus a Lutri the Spellchaser deck, and I have turn 1 Preacher the Schism. I'll keep. Send it. Alright, that creature's pretty beefy. There are things like Flame Slash and Swords to Plowshares that can beat it on turn 1. Islands are not very good at that. Mana Vault's good, though. Here's a sweet interaction. When Preacher attacks, if you have the most life, you get a 1/1, and if you have the least life, you lose life and draw a card, and we have the same life, so I get both. Baleful Strix. Just working my way up here, hope I don't get comboed out. If I can untap with this Hull Breacher showing, I'll feel pretty powerful. Right, we are blue-white control with some big ramp. Mindstone. Talisman. Oh yeah, they're Cuban. Duelist of the Mind. Hull Breacher's quite good against that card. I'm going to attack with everything. 2 of my creatures have Death Touch, and their creature doesn't have any power. Okay, I will pass with Hull Breacher up. And I hope they jam Time Twister. Well, they're untapping Mana Vault. I don't think they're going to jam Time Twister. But if they commit a crime... Oh, they may draw a card. That's optional. Cowards. Okay, Duelist getting in. I'll play the Hull Breacher just for tempo. It's more important to be on board and dealing damage than it is to get them. Sunken Ruins, cast Doomsday better. Polluted Delta can access Breach or get the Surveil land. I'm going to attack first. I get to draw cards here. Drawing another Swamp. They're protecting the Duelist, who now can't get any bigger because of Hull Breacher. I'm going to play Delta and Jace. I might be overextending into a Wrath here, but if they Wrath, and this Preacher's already drawn, what, 3-4 cards this turn? I can Bitter Triumph the Duelist if I need to. Okay, they bought Lutri. They might just have to jam that as a blocker. And I don't think I'm going to be breaching this game, so I'm going to get the Sewer, hide the fact that I have this other gear to my deck. Dump an Island. Shelldock Isle, what's up? Jace. I could flip Jace this turn if I discard a Bitter Triumph. I think I'm just going to play Sunken Ruins and attack with everything that isn't Jace. If they flash in Lutri to block, I'll Bitter Triumph to kill it. Yeah, that's fine. Right, Preacher Schism. Cast with discard a card. Discard Swamp. Now Jace is flippable. They're in the chump block mode now. Second main, Jace. Oh, this is awkward. I don't want them to know about Underworld Breach or Doomsday. I could twist them here. I think I'm going to discard Shelldock Isle. Oh, I could Dark Ritual twist them. That's so nasty. Alright. Play Dark Ritual out of my graveyard. I can twist them for 2 and hold up Counterspell here, without revealing any of these combos. I think leaving up Counterspell is better than getting the last card at random. Spars, HQ, and Lotus Petal from hand. Nice. And they think I'm just blue-black tempo. Pretty solid. And I don't think anything really changes. Stern Scolding does counter Lutri and sometimes counters the Nathan Stoyer card. I think that's a star, or I'm going to look that up so I'm sure. Is that a star or is it a 0 with an ability? It is a star. So it's a star 3, and stars are different than zeros because the star is true in all zones. So if my opponent draws 3 cards in a turn, then cast Duelist in the Mind, I can't Stern Scold it. What would I change for Stern Scolding if I care? I might not care. I mean, Hymn to Tarak, Mind Twist, Duress. I got a lot of disruption going on already. Okay, I'm just going to submit my deck. I think it's still the best deck I have for this matchup. I've got the Preacher, but not the Ritual. I will keep, though. My hand is still good. Deep Cavern Bat. All right, Shelduck Isle, lead on that. Pretty modest, but I'll put Hymn to Tarak in there, I suppose. The dream is to just blind hit Thassa's Oracle with that. Mindstone. Bats off to you. What's going on over there? Lots of good cards, huh? Snapcaster Brainstorm, Thoughtscour, Teferi. If they want a Twister, I don't mind that at all. They can't cast this Teferi, but if they do, that's annoying. Yeah, I'm going to take Teferi and see if I can get this Shieldred down before they jam Time Twister. Like, will they just jam Twister? Okay, brainstorming to try to find a way through. Yeah, the Shieldred Hull Breacher deck does seem good against their archetype, if I can get these cards down in time. Mountain, surprise. What are we doing with that? Mana Vault. Right, now I think it's worth it to Twister. Oh yeah, this is a great Twister. They suddenly went from twisting away 5 cards to twisting away 2. That's a great rebuild. Makes my hand shit. All right, I no longer have any of this information. Wow, yeah, that was pretty devastating. Do I think they're going to have 2 Twisters? They've shown me Snapcaster. All right, I will play out the LED just in case I get twisted again. I'd rather have access to that. There are 24 cards in their deck. I'm 4 cards away from a Hymn to Tarak into their 8-card hand. That'll show them. Displacer Kitten. Powerful stuff. That's a lot of mana. Oh, they can flicker their Mana Vault every time they cast a spell here. Looks like they only had 1. Cool. Come on now. All right, Blood Crypt tapped. Lock that one in. Okay, so Displacer Kitten to Fairy. They probably have infinite loops in their deck. If they can unlock this to Fairy, Mana Vault makes more than it costs. So yeah, they have demonstrated an infinite loop if this Teferi is ever freed. They exiled Tundra with Expressive Iteration, cycled Spars HQ with floating mana, Brainstorm, me without a Hull Breacher. Yeah, mostly just getting twisted into 7 or 6 mana sources was the bad luck here. I think if our hand is just cards, we're still playing, but they basically got the Narset Time Twister experience without the Narset, because my hand ended up blank. There are 19 cards in their deck, so Hymn to Tarak is live now. I don't think it's good, but it's live. I'll probably just fire it in the end step. They're a really good Time Twister deck, though. Lotus Petal with 5 cards left. At some point, they're going to cast a spell and try to double it with Lutri. I'm trying to figure out where the strategic Hymn to Tarak is in between now and then. Time Warp, Jesus. All right. Well, they're going to get a bunch of extra turns. Can they cast? Yes, they can Lutri right now. Yeah, plenty of mana. That's a good card to double. God, I have to filter into Sunken Ruins to play Activate Shelduck Isle. I don't even think this is good. Honestly, I'm actually just going to concede. They're going to get 3 turns in a row with Displacer Kitten. I don't even want them to see that. That's a card in my deck. Okay. That was a very different side of the deck. Stern Scolding now I know hits Displacer Kitten as well as the other things we saw. I want that now. I could back away from Cabal Ritual or Luris. I think Luris, actually. This matchup does not look like it's going to be about grinding. Okay, let's go. Oh no, no lander. Mulligan. Here's that dang mountain. Well, I'm going to keep and put Brain Freeze on the bottom. Pass. I think I might have to end step Brainstorm, because if I hit Black Source, we actually get to play the game. All right, please swamp, please swamp, please swamp. All right, we did it. Oh, not only a swamp, but Dark Ritual. Okay. Mountain, Blood Crypt, go back. Dark Ritual, Shieldred here. All right, Brainstorm in response. Yeah, you better. All right, Twister this. Shieldred is in, and she's dealt some damage. Gain some life. And attack first. Chugga chugga. Big beats. Blood Crypt. I would just rather have that card in play than Mountain. Preacher. All right, mid-range Dumbo's coming at you. Just playing standard right now, actually. This is the Dark Ritual getting the shoulder down before the Preacher is not how standard works, but these two cards do show up together in that format. Talisman of Conviction. All right, Shouldred remains in play. I'm going to attack first, because Preacher will draw a card here. And I think I should Night's Whisper before I make any other decisions. Like hitting Counterspell here would just be insane. Lion's Eye Diamond, not it. Shelldock. Concealing Curtains, Force of Negation. Nobody's close to this number. I don't have a shuffle. Like, what am I looking for here? I guess it is Force of Negation, all the same. All right, still playing at LED. I don't think they're going to twist into this Shieldred, but in case they do, it's Cycling Lorien revealed. They got a lot of problems to solve here, and taking 3 turns in a row won't solve them. They have to actually remove Shieldred, and they can't draw cards to try to solve the problem, because Shieldred will kill them for doing that. Displacer Kitten. Right, there's that one. How far are we going? This Lotus Petal's worth 2 mana with this Talisman. If Teferi's in their hand, I think they actually have it here. Oh no, because they had to use the Lotus Petal to play the Teferi. Okay, so just some terrible card that doesn't matter. Okay, so they have to block both of these. Yep. I am bricking off, but they're in so much trouble that I think it's okay. They go to 1 off this draw. All right. I respect them going out on their own terms. Either that, or maybe they have some way to beat Shieldred here. But they just spun me into Counterspell. Brainstorm over the top. Yeah, keep it coming. I love an opponent with a sense of humor. Like I said, my archetype is extremely well suited to counter their archetype with the Hull Breacher and the Shieldred in it. On to the next round.
This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks, and groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there.
I'm on the draw in round 2. I did go in and turn the mountain into a swamp. I think that mountain is not necessary and risks keepable hands. I'm going to keep this. It's a 1-lander, obviously, but on the draw and multiple good things to do on 2 mana, I'm going to hold on to it. Never had a problem. I'm going to play Bat on turn 2, so exposing Underground Sea to Wasteland isn't necessary. Like, I'm not going to hold up Counterspell. I'm going to play Bat. Ooh, the Mirror Match. Pentad Prism. Okay. Probably a good person to look at their hand and see what they're up to. Oh, Dark Ritual. I could hit 3 cards out of their hand, or I could Bat and Night's Whisper. I think I like Bat plus Whisper. Like, hitting my next land drop's a pretty big deal to me here. Bat. Shieldred Liliana Daze. Well, that Daze is not ideal. I'll take Shieldred, though. All right, let's see if they want to Daze a Night's Whisper. They do. All right. Frustrating, but okay. At least I didn't send Mind Twist for 3 into that Daze hand. They're going to Liliana kill Bat, and then I have to figure out what I'm going to do about Shieldred. All right, land would be great. Untapped land, specifically. Okay. Well, 50-50. We got her, kids. We got Swamp and Shieldred. They're holding Underground Sea and 1 unknown. All right, please don't have a follow-up. Just plus Liliana and pass the turn. Ooh, couldn't afford to plus Lily. Hand's too good. That's interesting. I'll cast Luris. This is the one that punishes them the hardest if they don't do anything. All right. That's fine. We could imagine that their hand had reactive cards in it because they didn't play them proactively and didn't want to discard them. We each discard. Thassa's Oracle's out of here. 1 card left over there for you. Now Liliana can kill my next play. Sunken Ruins, best draw on my deck. All right, not helpful. I will play it out, though. I have 4 drops that I might cast someday. And my opponent can decide if they want to trade Liliana for Jace or play on. If they have a normal removal spell, then plus Liliana and she's chilling on 3, it's going to be really hard to win this game. Ooh, okay. Reach, discard a card. What's that last one? What do you got for me? Born Oculus. Okay. It's not as bad as it could be. It's not great, though. All right, so they get to manifest Dread. I draw for turn, then I get a Jace activation. Hull Breacher. Fascinating. All right, Jace, activate. I'd love to see Doomsday. Okay, so Misty Rainforest does not get access to my red. Yeah, I think I'm just going to cast Night's Whisper. Come on, untapped land. Shit. Brainstorm, save me. Okay. These are close to being good cards. I am missing the red source for this Breach. I'm going to put back Breach and Hull Breacher. Then I'll play Sunken Ruins and Concealing Curtains. The combo half of my deck is very good now because they're all in on board control, and this board's going to be really hard to get control of. Alright, I've sacrificed Concealing Curtains. Jace is going to die here. Liliana dominating this game. Good stuff. Actually, mostly Daze dominating this game. My next two draws are Hull Breacher and Breach. Okay, so if they, on their turn, draw a card, like if they just rip for turn Brainstorm or Ancestral Recall, the treasures cast Underworld Breach, and then we might be able to get out of here. I have some work to do. I don't have the Brain Freeze. In fact, I know it's on the bottom of my deck. Yeah, hopefully they just draw for turn and cast. Even the Preordain I'd take, like literally anything that draws a card here. And because of Liliana, they're incentivized to play whatever they're going to play first. Just a land. Hate that. Alright, well, I'm drawing Breach and I'm dead in 2 hits, so I don't want them to know I have Hull Breacher. Crushed by the magic card Daze. Noted. Number of Bones, they did care about their graveyard, at least for the Oculus. I don't know that I want to go more creatures into their good creature control deck, though. I mean, Unearth could counter or push through a Liliana, alright. But that's just one card in their deck that they're not going to have every time. Yeah, same deck. I'm going back in. Keep. This hand's pretty good. We know that they have Mind Twisted Children. Pretty similar stuff going on between our two decks here. Creepy Tar Pit. I have multiple tech and dual lands and my splash color. Mana Vault. I hate that. My opponent's 2 for 2 on having Mana Vault. Right, Blood Crypt, get that in case it someday goes away. A turn 2 Shieldred would be pretty tough to beat, as we just proved last round against the opponent. Liliana this early doesn't matter. I mean, it kind of matters, but it's not insane like it was last game. Mind Twist for 4 is pretty fucking good. Oh yeah. What do I get to keep? Frantic Search. Alright, well, if I get to keep one of these cards, that's the one. Right, I'm going to pass. I'm going to hold on to this search a little longer until I have cards I know I want to loot away. If I hit Underworld Breach, I can shred through my deck here. We've almost got it. Pentad Prism is in. Investing in the future. Island. Okay, I could Frantic Search now. I'm going to do that. I did not play around Daze, but I think I can live with that. Discard 2 islands, untap my 3 lands. I guess I'll play Jace Vryn's Prodigy. I'm going to hold on to this swamp because I need to loot away something with Jace. Yeah, losing 4 cards at random on turn 2 is tough. But we do have eject buttons here. I actually need 5 mana to jumpstart the Breach with Frantic Search, so I will need to develop lands at some point or find a ritual to cast off Breach. They pass to me. Concealing Curtains. That could get a peek at what they're working with. Alright, I'm going to play Curtains. And I'm going to transform it immediately and get a look at their hand so I don't have to ram a Jace activation into a Hull Breacher. This is a lot of mana being spent suddenly. Occult Epiphany. Alright. Draw X, discard X. And they get a bunch of things. Discard rules, by the way. Perfect cube card. Okay, they got 3 spirits out of 5 cards. That's not too bad. Revealing Eye. Abhorrent Oculus and Kaito. I'm more worried about Abhorrent Oculus here. I will take that. And I'm just going to blind mill a card with Jace and hope it's not Underworld Breach. Alright, Sunken Ruins. Minus on one of these spirits, which is funny because they could just pick up the spirit without power and toughness to deal some damage to Jace here. I think Kaito, and it doesn't have to lock down Revealing Eye, but it probably should. Jace is going to take 5. Was I supposed to flip Jace on their end step? Maybe I was. Yeah, this is a Planeswalker I'm losing, which is also a Frantic Search I'm losing. For basically no reason. Yeah, that was not good. Wait, I just took some damage. Was Kaito attacking me? No way, that's right. Did they misclick on Kaito's entry? Weird. Okay, I'll take it. Or they intend to draw a card. But if you're going to do that, attack me with a spirit. Okay, something weird just happened. All right, they did lock down the Revealing Eye, and I'm untapping with Jace available somehow. I could Frantic Search right away, try to find the combo gas. I think that's what I'm going to do. Cast Frantic Search out of my graveyard. Brainstorm Dark Ritual. I probably keep Brainstorm here. And I'm going to attack Kaito with my Creeping Tar Pit. If they have Fatal Push, that would be so shitty. But otherwise, this is the play I'm most happy with. Okay, cool. We dealt with the Kaito. I'm actually winning the damage race here. And I have various combo cards I could hit. Oh wow, Bolus is sitting off the top. Just casting that. Okay. Well, let's hope there's a land on top of their deck. Right, Jace is dead. He did his job. The Eye, this is its last turn of being stunned. If I Brainstorm, I might not be able to Creeping Tar Pit. If I attack them for 3, that makes Bolas' Citadel worse. The Frantic Search is gone from my graveyard because Jace exiled it when it resolves, so hitting Breach here doesn't even save me. Yeah, I'm going beat down. Bolas' Citadel is obviously a completely messed up permanent to have in play, but it also, in draft, it's a very different thing than in constructed, where your whole deck is built to cost 0 or to be like Sensei's Divining Tops and Brainstorms and set up the Citadels. Bat takes my Brainstorm. Don't love that. But they did lose 2 life for it, and I'm pretty sure they drew a land this turn, or else the Citadel would have kept going. It could have been a counterspell, I guess. They wouldn't have been able to keep going off of a counterspell. Oh, they targeted me with Thought Scour, taking Force Negation and Doomsday. All right, Doomsday being gone actually stinks a little. That's an out missing from the deck. I do have 6 power in play, though. 3 of it's unblockable, and the other 3 has Menace. This is real pressure coming back their way. Preacher of the Schism. That eventually generates a lifelinker, but it's a really good blocker for Revealing Eye. Okay, the Spirit attack is aggressive. Now my Bat dies if Revealing Eye gets blocked. Big draws. Duress. I mean, I'll cast it. Now we'll find out if it was a land or a counterspell. Well, it could have been either. Well, I'll take the counterspell and fire up the Tar Pit. Attacking with Eye kills Bat, but they do gain a life. Or they might just go to 3 and accept their fate. They're cycling Zagoth Triome. Might as well. They did know the top card of their deck. Oh, but they found Fairy Mastermind on top. Now they get to keep their Bat. That's really good. Alright, well, I'll kill Mastermind. Put them to 4. Now they can't cast... Or... Bat has lifelink, so they could conceivably still cast... Or they might have to untap Mana Vault to be alive. Okay. They could cast a 1-drop off the top of their deck. They'll have 2 lifelinkers attacking next turn. This is going to be a slugfest. This Bolas' Citadel is almost out of gas. That was a great hit off of the blind spin. All right, 1/1 lifelink. I take 5, you go to 5. Next turn, you go to 7. They are just 1 turn outpacing the Tar Pit. Sheldock Isle. Well, I mean, that's on. Let's find something good. Something that deals damage or wins. Underworld Breach, maybe. Thassa's Oracle, I'm not going to do it. Deep Cavern Bat. Bat Strix. Strix is a redraw. Bat has lifelink. I guess it's Strix. I think I'm losing, though. Yeah, hitting a 2-drop blocker with Flash, blind off the top, last turn. If that was a 3-drop blocker with Flash, I would still win this game. They're going to have exactly 1 life when it matters. Yep, here comes everybody. Vampire token back to block. I don't think I have any outs to this. I mean, Liliana doesn't matter. I bet they're not even going to use her. Oh, okay. They did plus themselves to empty. Big draw. Underworld Breach. Swamp is not it. Island would at least let me Strix. I guess I have to cast Strix and see if I draw a useful card. Well, I hit Breach. Does it work? Does it do anything? So Underworld Breach can cast Dark Ritual, which can cast Doomsday, but I just used my card draw for the turn. Can I get enough blockers in play to survive? Probably not. They have 3 flying, so and they have Liliana. Oh, that's so close. I think if I had drawn Breach this turn, if it was 1 card closer, if I Breach, Dark Ritual, Doomsday, yeah, Breach, Dark Ritual, Doomsday, with the Strix under the Shell Dock, I could go into a Doomsday pile with like a bunch of black floating and draw a card. I still don't think that actually wins. Breach can cast Luris. That's a lifelink creature. I guess I gotta do whatever I can do here. Underworld Breach. I do have a lot of black mana available. Dark Ritual. We don't need lands where we're going. There aren't a lot of cards in my graveyard, though, which is part of the problem. I can play Luris. I need a flying blocker, a lifelinker, and how many times can I actually do this? There are 15, oh no, there's 11 cards in my graveyard. Exile 3 for Ritual. Then I have 5 black floating. Then exile 3 for Luris. Then I can use Luris to replay something. All right, I'm going to Dark Ritual again. Force Negation's out. Luris, exile Duress, him, and Doomsday. I'm 1 card short of getting 2 things here. I have to sacrifice whatever I get here. Am I just dead anyway? So they minus Liliana. I sacrifice Concealing Curtains or Jace or whatever this is. And I block Bat with Strix. I block 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could block a Vampire with Luris, go to 1. All right, so I just need to play something out of my graveyard here. It barely matters what. Curtains, I could flip it, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, I guess I'll just play cast with Luris. And 1 card short of getting a 3rd thing down, but that's okay. All right. I think I've survived the turn at least. I'm out of win cons, but I think the turn is survived. So Breach is still in the graveyard if Luris survives the turn pass here. Okay, they're drawing wild, but they did know what it was. They can't play things that cost 4 off the top of their deck. They played land off the top of the deck. Right, sacrificing the curtains was always the plan. Attacking with just the spirits. They don't want to give me Brainstorm. Well, I can replay Strix with Luris. Well, that's fine. That's card advantage now in my graveyard. No! Come on! Shouldred was the card you drew. All right, GG. That was tight. That was a really good game. Brought to you entirely by getting my entire hand twisted on turn 2. On to the final round. We're a few rounds into the video. If you're still here and having fun, remember to hit that subscribe button. And if you want to play what I'm playing, use code BOSH for 5% off your order at toamagic.com. Eternal lives here. I'm on the play in the final round with a really exciting hand. I'm going to keep. I need a land, but it barely matters what land I even draw. Night's Whisper, Duress. Ooh, all right, well, I'll fight back. We're against another combo deck. I'll take your Duress. Having Force of Negation here is pretty valuable. Oh god, Mind Twist. What if it hits the Atraxa? That's no good. I guess I'll pass. Witch Claw. They can have the Claw. Come on, deck. Land. We did it. Alright. Black, 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 Doomsday. Alright, how do I build a pile with this deck? We've got... Night's Whisper does not target. It's you draw. Okay, deal. Alright. Brainstorm is in my deck. Fetch lands and Brainstorm, those are ways to cheat. So if I have Polluted Delta, Underground Sea, Brainstorm, oh, Night's Whisper. How do I get Night's Whisper involved in the pile? I cast Whisper, draw 2. Right, if this is my pile, it's not selected yet. So I put Night's Whisper on top. I draw 2. It's Dark Ritual and Brainstorm. Oh, wait, but I'll only have 2 cards left in my deck because I draw for turn. This is a pass pile. Okay, so do I not need Brainstorm? Is that what's going on here? Night's Whisper into Dark Ritual Polluted Delta with 2 cards left in my deck. Fetch for Underground Sea, 1 card left. How do I get rid of 1 more card? Brainstorm is no good. Oh, Frantic Search. Hold on. There it is. Frantic Search. So I draw for turn, it's Frantic Search. Oh, but if I have to force something this turn, I won't have enough cards to Frantic Search away. I only have to get to 2, though. They haven't shown me a Fatal Push kind of thing. So Baleful Strix draws 1, but for kind of a lot of mana. Is that the solution? Or what I could do is... Oh, I was going to say Underworld Breach for a second round, but that doesn't actually work. This would be easy, except my opponent is showing me that they're a combo deck with a face-up Demonic Tutor. So I want to be able to make sure I actually win next turn. How does the Strix fit into all this? If I draw Night's Whisper, Whisper into Dark Ritual Polluted Delta, fetch Underground Sea, the only card left in my deck is Baleful Strix. That doesn't solve the problem. I could make the last card in my deck Luris, but then I don't have the mana. I only have 4 mana the next turn to replay Thassa's Oracle if they counter it. I don't think that's any good. Shelldock Isle. Nope, not going to help. Shit. I think I just have to pick a random card and hope this works. All right, Frantic Search down to 2 cards in deck. Night's Whisper to 0. I don't need Delta if that's the line. I can make Delta into just like Island. So it's draw, Frantic Search. I have the same problem here. I already identified that Frantic Search doesn't work. I Polluted Delta, get back in the stack. Island, get out. And what if I draw Brainstorm first? Brainstorm from a 4-card deck. I end up with a 3-card deck. Then I can Night's Whisper, leaving Underground Sea as my only card. Okay, so this is the stack, and I draw Brainstorm. All right. Hope I did that right. I thought about it a lot. Okay, Underground Sea on the bottom. Polluted Delta under that. Night's Whisper, Dark Ritual, Brainstorm. All right, go. Don't kill me. Sorry, opponent, for that long tank. Limited deck under serious pressure. Had to figure it out. If they have Force of Will, I lose. I guess that's not even true. Or, yeah, I do lose to Force of Will, because they can use Oracle. If they have Force of Negation, they would counter like my Brainstorm or something, and then I would just wait and eventually cast Oracle down the road. I can take a turn off Mind Twisting them. Okay, they are Wishclaw Talismaning, which means I have a Wishclaw on my Doomsday line now, if I need to solve any difficult problems. The problem is Thassa's Oracle's in my hand, but I can force Negation a Thoughtseize. If they have Deep Cavern Bat, I think I actually just lose. If they have Force of Will, and they just pad their hand here and pass, I think I lose to that too. Maybe I'm supposed to make a slower pile that can duress, but I have Mind Twist. Like, if I feel like I'm under threat, I could just twist them. But that might just turn on Atraxa, I have no idea. Doomsday does make for dynamic games of Magic, that's for sure. Even if they're condensed to a 10-minute turn 3 cycle between me figuring out the pile and them figuring out what they're going to do about it, this is exciting. Especially in draft, where it's not necessarily a done deal. Like, my opponent doesn't know how interactive my pile is going to be, how fast my pile is going to be. In Constructed, you just know if they untap here, you're dead. But in draft, who knows? This might take me 5 turns to win, or it might take me 1. And I've got a Wishclaw. There's the Swamp from their hand. Black Lotus, that's really good. Do I want to counter that? I actually think I do. I'm going to force the Black Lotus. I think that's what they just tutored for. Oh god, Dark Ritual. I hope this just gets nice Whisper. Alright, cool. Don't Thoughtseize me, don't Thoughtseize me, don't Thoughtseize me. Duress is fine. Alright, oh my god. Stressful stuff. Alright, I'm just going to go for it. I'll make blue. I need as much blue as I can get in the pile. And then Brainstorm. Put back Mind Twist, Thassa's Oracle. Oh wait. Hold on. What did I count wrong here? I don't think I counted wrong. I think it's okay. I get my whole deck here, right? Put back Mind Twist, Thassa's Oracle. Fetch, Dark Ritual, Night's Whisper. Yeah, the whole... Okay, it is here. I didn't mess up. Okay. Fetch for Underground Sea. Dark Ritual. Night's Whisper. Thassa's Oracle. Please don't have Force of Will. Okay, sweet. We Doomsdayed. Fun. Okay, my opponent is Reanimator. I think I want Emperor of Bones to tax their graveyard, and Animate Dead might be able to snatch something out of their graveyard if they put it there too early. I like Force of Negation quite a lot. Him to Turok is actually really dangerous. Mind Twist might be still good enough because if they have no hand, that's pretty busted. But him to Turok hitting in Atraxa is just kind of unacceptable to me. I like the targeted discard. We've seen Night's Whisper out of their deck, but we saw red and black mana. They also have Black Lotus, which could mean anything. Hull Breacher is one of a very small number of blue cards for my Force of Negation. I think I actually am going to cut Mind Twist. The random discard just looking scary. I have 3 targeted discard spells, so I'll do it that way. Okay, I have both of my sideboard cards in my hand. I'll keep it. This is a deck that could just win on turn 1. They have Black Lotus, and Reanimator is a full send. Glyphs pass. Bitter Triumph helps a lot. Now I can kill an Atraxa or an Archon that might arrive. Oh my god, please blind flip an Atraxa. Dump it, dump it, dump it. Salt Monolith, disappointing. Alright, I got something like that too. Undercity Sewer. Night's Whisper, put that in the grip. If I Whisper right now, I have to discard to hand size. If I play out the Bone Zone, it's not going to be able to cheese them ever. I think I am going to Whisper. I can afford to discard one of these lands. Or maybe I'll draw a Lion's Eye Diamond, and I don't have to discard it all. Creeping Tar Pit. Okay, I'm going to discard Island. They've got 3 mana now. It's getting scary. Thassa's Oracle. I'm going to pass with Bitter Triumph available. I think that's the best way I can interact with what they're doing, which is currently nothing, but that could change. Luris, okay. I will enter the Bone Zone. I gotta put something on the board here. And if they kill this, now Luris can recur it. Duress, well, I have 2 hits for that. I hope they take Animate Dead, because if they take Bitter Triumph, that might mean they're putting a bigger monster into play quickly. They did take Animate. I'm gonna adapt this in the end step. There's no creatures in the graveyard, and I want to start dealing damage. In for 4. I could play Thassa's Oracle just for the selection. I'm gonna Shelldock first. Hull Breacher, Strix, Brain Freeze. Brain Freeze is actually almost there. I think I'll put Brain Freeze in there, set up a future combo situation, and I am just running out the Thassa's Oracle. I would like Children on top of my deck. I can still Bitter Triumph. The Creeping Tar Pit's here for push damage. I'm not going to exile any cards from my graveyard because Breach needs all of them. And I mean, here she is. That resolved immediately. My opponent did mulligan pretty low. I wonder if they just have a completely non-functional hand or what's going on over there. Did the Emperor of Bones actually shut them down? Okay. He died literally without casting a spell. Or they cast one, was some duress or something. Okay. This deck was awesome. I'm honestly pretty disappointed we didn't get the trophy with this, but the opponent had a hyper-interactive deck with Mana Vault, just power level mana, mind twisting me for 4 on turn 2, making me not play the game. That is one way to beat a deck that's awesome. Don't let them play the game. I think other than like Lion's Eye Diamond being Black Lotus, there's not a lot I could ask for if I wanted to be a Doomsday Breach deck, and this was a lot of fun. I'm glad I got to put this draft together on camera. Everybody, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, check out the Patreon to support the channel. I'll see you next time, which may or may not be my last Cube draft ever.